Hi, I'm Sherry, and some of my friends have asked me to show them how to make flour tortillas. We make them gluten-free, and we also use wheat from Azure Standard. That way it hasn't been hybridized or GMO'd or glyphosate, all that mess. So anyway, so we already did the other video. So if you haven't seen it, look it up, where we steam the sweet potatoes, blend them up, make them into like mashed potatoes, just the sweet potatoes. We do use the skins. If you don't want to, you can take them out. And then we add flour until we have a nice soft dough. I made a bunch the other day and I put half of it in the freezer and I made the other half. So I wanted to show you what it's like. It's really soft. See? Very soft and malleable. That's what the sweet potato does. It totally changes the way the dough reacts. Because normally you can't really use a tortilla press that is for corn flour with the gluten-free flour. It just gets too tough and it'll brittle and it'll break. And then with the wheat flour, you can't. It will not. You can't just squish it like that. You have to roll it out. So when you add the sweet potato to the dough, it completely changes the texture. Now I'm going to show you how I cook it. So this is I've been using this. I made a whole bunch already. See the tortillas right here. So I took a Ziploc bag and cut it so that it makes a lid. Of course, I've been making them, so they have some residue. They were clean when I started. So once I squish them, then when they're ready to put on the skillet, I peel off one end, then put it lightly on my hand. This is the tricky part. This will take practice if you haven't been doing this, especially with this dough because it's very soft. You gently peel it off and then get it to come off. Now, if it's too sticky, you can just add a little bit more flour. For some reason, I'm having a hard time with it sticking to my hand because it's a little too moist. I added some flour and it's still kind of moist. So I'll stick it on the skillet. If the skillet's too hot, then it will make big bubbles and it won't cook evenly. If it's too cold, then it won't. It'll kind of dry it out. And if it's just right, it will give it little brown spots. So this is, like I said, that's the biggest challenge because it is a little softer than the tortilla dough. You don't want it too hard or it's but it comes out very flexible. So again, you're going to peel it off. You just use your thumb to gently peel it. And then gently take it off your hand and lay it down on the skillet. And if it wrinkles a little bit, it's still going to taste the same. If it's the right temperature, it will not stick too. I guess you can't see that one, but I'll show you on the other one. When it's ready, it'll have the little brown spots. And you flip it over. And then see that one? Well, you can't see. It has the brown spots. And I flipped it over. That one's a little taut. So we'll turn it down a little. Every stove's different, but mine with these iron skillets, once they're hot, usually a 3 is more than enough. So I'm used to getting things off with my hands because of making tortillas all my life. But like this one is way too hot. And you see it burned it. And that's why it stuck. It was too hot. I'm gonna have to turn that down. For some reason, that little tiny burner is a lot hotter. So that gives you an idea. You flip it, you cook it 3 times. You cook it on one side, then the other side, and then you flip it over and if it's just right, it will bubble a little bit, kind of like pita bread. Not completely, but it's really nice. So again, see how I hardly squish. I'm not putting a lot of pressure and it just flattens it really nicely. You can see how thin it is. It's amazing. It's so much easier than having to roll something out. And then when you do the gluten-free, it makes it flexible so that you have nice flexible tortillas. And of course, sweet potatoes are gluten-free. So it works great. So there, and I make a bunch of these out of bags that are not good anymore. And I wash them and that way I can make a whole bunch and have them ready. So these cook quick. As you can see, the other end's is ready. And this back one is definitely way too hot. It's burning them. I'll show you. You want them to bubble up. And you can pressure. Sometimes they'll come up and sometimes they won't. Either. But so it doesn't take long. Here's the 3. That's the one that was too hot. I'll just put it on top. So again, you peel it, put it on your hand, flip it over. I'm going to keep it flat, and then use your thumb to gently pull it off. And then I usually switch it over, and then you're ready to put it on the skillet. Like that. Again, I'm gonna put it on my hand, feel it with my thumb. This dough's a little bit too sticky. You can always add a tiny bit more. But if you get it too firm, it will be hard to use. It's better soft. So again, I'm going to peel it. The first one is pretty easy. It usually comes off, no problem. It's the second one. You don't want it to wrinkle. And then again, use your thumb. Get it off. And put it on the stove. And the back is still too hot. It's bubbling. You can see how flexible it is. Very flexible. And even when you reheat them, if you heat them not too much, they'll be nice and flexible. Yeah, the back is way too hot. You want to be a good example. And when it's too hot, it will cause a crust on the thing. See how it's burnt? Let's see. And it makes those pockets, and then that doesn't cook as well. So I just keep turning it down. So you can use the skillet to pull them off if you want. Be safer. See, this one's about perfect. It has all the little brown spots. So you flip it, cook it on one side, flip it again, and then you'll flip it the 3rd time and let it cook for a little bit and then take it off. They're very fast, which is good because I get tired. And then I'll have to wash all these. But At least it's a lot easier than rolling them out. For me, I don't. That one's really way too hot. Sit down, maybe it'll boil. No, it's not wanting to. Okay. So I'm gonna take it off and you can freeze these. They will go bad really quickly because there's no preservative. They're totally natural. So I just keep a bag of whatever we can use for a day in the fridge in a little Ziploc bag. And I put the rest in little bags and put them in the freezer. And that way they don't go bad. Thank you. Bye.